Welcome into the RotoFanatic.com's new studios. Yeah, we're upgrading here for the quality start on July 28th, 2020. Let this be a memorable day, a moment not to forget. We have fantasy baseball to discuss. We have Craig Kimbrell blowing up. We have Jeremy Jeffress saving his rear end. We also have the Pirates maybe not getting the job done. There's a lot of closer concerns. Anthony Bass, don't worry about him. The Blue Jays, it doesn't matter if the Blue Jays don't have a home. It doesn't matter if they don't have a stadium. They have a stadium technically now, but they don't care about that. They care about winning games. And right now, the Blue Jays are on a tear, beating the Nats last night. We'll talk about Teoscar Hernandez and Anthony Bass, and we'll talk about almost anything. We will discuss fantasy baseball, give you the information you need for Tuesday, July 28th, 2020. RotoFanatic.com's quality start begins now.
The King in the North!
I know he says the King in the North, but I say the King of the North. And for Monday night, that man is Mr. Hernandez. Teoscar. What a great name. I've never met anyone named Teoscar, but I wish I had. 2 home runs last night for the leadoff man, and he was thrust into duty 10 minutes before game time because Bo Bichette was the late scratch. This is Rowdy Tellez cranking one to right field, and then this is Danny Jansen going to left field. And then Teoscar Hernandez one more time. 4 solo taters served up from the Blue Jays. It wasn't a bad outing overall, though. Anibal just got a little bit unlucky with 4 solo blasts on 6 hits total. A close runner-up, Colin Moran. Look at him jump on that fastball. Up, up, and away. What a blast. Moran was an afterthought in the trade for Garrett Cole between the Astros and the Pirates. Joe Musgrove has been the main focus of that deal, but Moran had 2 bombs last night, and he deserves some credit.
He left it.
But that's not what I'm gonna do.
And who left who on Monday? It should be noted that Yelich and Smoke played in 11 innings, but Yelich left 8 on base, and his OPS right now is at 328. Yowzas.
Baseball stuff! Mike Foltynewicz has lost his touch. Unfortunately, the Rays exposed him for the final time as a Brave. He has been demoted, and he will be given his outright release, or he'll be traded within the next 7 days. It's a sad story for Mr. Foltynewicz. Last fall, he got destroyed against the Cardinals in the first inning in Game 5 of a crucial NLDS game, a do-or-die game. And then they put the ball back in his hands, they show faith in him, and this is what they get. Last night's performance. I mean, as you can see, it's a disaster, and it's really unfortunate what happened to Mr. Foltynewicz. We wish you the best, Mike. Somebody on Twitter said maybe he'd get picked up by the Astros, and that would be great. They could spin him into gold. They've done it with Aaron Sanchez. It was brief, but they did do it. There was a couple nice outings for Sanchez last year. And, of course, Garrett Cole is the standard for which they show their prominence in reigniting pitchers' careers. There's plenty of pitchers who came and went. Daniel Bard of the Rockies, we just talked about yesterday, has been out of the league for 7 years. And now he's back, and he got a victory. So, maybe it's going to take some time, but there is hope. There is a second chance. There's always a third chance. There's a 5th chance in Major League Baseball. It just takes the right place, team, and general manager. Good luck, Mike.
Foltynewicz is getting piled on, but his teammate, Touki Toussaint, was not good at all. He was just as bad, giving up 6 earned runs, equal to Foltynewicz. The only difference being that Toussaint had shorter amount of time to give up just as many runs. And he struck out 6 guys to 1 walk, while Foltynewicz walked 4. Somehow, Zach Godley, the former D-back, struck out 7 New York Mets over 4 innings on 4 hits. He looked pretty good doing it, too. The curveball was wicked. Hadn't seen that since his D-back days when he had his one fluky season. I don't know if this is something to keep an eye on or just, some flash in the pan. The Mets were up 7-1 and were in complete control of this game when Godley came aboard. But keep your eye out. Let's take a moment to watch this ball fly deep to left field, way back. This ball is out of here. Home run for Evan White, that man right there. first career Major League Baseball home run. Go get that ball, Sonny. I just said Sonny.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
That's right. It's time for the harshest closer report in the biz. Coffee's for closers only. Unfortunately, no coffee for Kimbrel. Last night, Craig Kimbrel had a hell of a time trying to finish off the Reds. He was not able to do the job, and Jeremy Jeffress had to bail him out. If you look at his recent efforts, Craig Kimbrel has really struggled. Liam Hendricks was off Monday, so Joakim Soria, the once prominent closer, came in to close the door against the Angels and take 3 of 4. He got Mike Trout with 2 men on a cold third strike right there, right at the top of the zone. Trout is pissed, but Soria gets the save and closes the door. Bad news last night if you are a Pirates fan or if you have closer Kyle Crick. The Pirates blew a lead. They were up 5-1 on the Brewers at one point, and Kyle Crick could not preserve the game as Ryan Braun hit this double to tie the game up. This was Braun's first hit of the season, by the way. The Brewers would win in 11 innings, not 10. Even though they put runners on second base, it took an 11th inning to close this game out. But the main takeaway is Kyle Crick, a suspect closer at best right now. With the COVID concerns in Miami, the Marlins have an outbreak, and the Orioles game was canceled. The Orioles went back to Baltimore, apparently, and the Phillies and Yankees game was also postponed because the Phillies had just played the Marlins in a series and may have been exposed. The White Sox and Indians are doing a doubleheader because of rain only. Mother Nature interfered, not COVID. But keep your eyes peeled on these COVID updates with the Marlins and the Phillies. Everybody else should be playing today, but be aware. This is the matchup that was supposed to happen Monday. But Dylan Cease going to make his debut this season. Keep an eye on his velocity. He can throw hard. 96.5 average on the four-seamer, and his sinker is really nasty too. Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon back after Tommy John surgery. This will be his first start. Rodon was the opening day starter for the Sox in 2019. He's had many injuries since coming up in 2015, but he's also had a killer slider, a dominant pitch at times. If he can put it all together, he's still only 27 years old. He could provide value to your fantasy team in 2020. Wilson Contreras has moved up to number 3 in my catcher rankings. He is really on a tear to start this season. You combine him with Kyle Schwarber and Ian Happ. These are the 3 Cubs hitters who have done a lot of damage. The StatCast data supports it. And sure, it's a small sample, I get that. But even though Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant get all the attention, these are the hitters driving the Cubs offense, and you should focus on them in fantasy. Mitch Garver and the Twins start a series against the Cardinals today. And again, this is a small sample size, but Garver's StatCast data does not look good early on. And lastly, Walker Buehler makes his debut tonight. Watch for his velocity. Very important. Walker Buehler is obviously a very talented pitcher, and his fantasy relevance is unquestioned. He is facing a potent Astros lineup tonight, though, and it's early on, so you need to keep an eye on his velocity, just like you would other pitchers.
And now it's time for my favorite part of the show. This day in fantasy history. Woo! Wow. Yes. Okay, let's take a look at what happened today for July 28th. Somewhere in the fantasy realm, back in time, in the multiverse, we're going through it all. We show you who contributed, who made a difference. Nobody cares about anybody else's fantasy team, but we should care about the players who made contributions and helped teams to victory in head-to-head or overall roto titles. Check this out.
It's 2006, and guess what? Luke Scott's a rookie, and he's going to hit for the cycle as a rookie for the Houston Astros. Very exciting time for Luke Scott. If you had Luke on this day, July 28th in 2006, then you had an excellent fantasy day. This isn't a statistical analysis. This is just a reminder that 9 years ago, Zach Wheeler was traded for Carlos Beltran from the Giants to the Mets, and now he's a Philly. His time in New York was mixed. More was expected out of him, and I don't think the Mets really got the return on the trade that they had hoped for. And on this day in 2012, remember Ike Davis? Another New York Met here. Look at this. He homered 3 times in Arizona, which is apparently home for him. So he felt very comfortable crushing 3 bombs. What a day. Ike Davis was a very powerful first baseman, and this was a great fantasy day if you had him.